Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrook Family Farm. So if you guys see me jumping a lot in this video, there was a big thunderstorm that just sort of popped up out of nowhere today, which originally we weren't supposed to get any rain for the next week or so, which is kind of a big deal because we haven't had rain for a while. And then with the really big high heat temperature thing going on right now, everything was already really dry, and then yeah, just gonna make it worse. But it actually is kind of pouring right now, so it's kind of a little nerve-wracking for me. I am not someone that likes storms. They actually really scare the bejesus out of me, especially when I'm home alone, because I don't have nobody to be my security blanket to go, it's okay, Lindsay. But so a little jumpy. Anyways, so since we knew that the heat wave was actually coming, and we knew that we were getting low on dog food, we'd make all of our own. We actually got out the stuff that we needed to thaw out to be able to start making dog food this weekend. So that way, since I was going to be trapped in the house pretty much the entire week, besides working on renovation projects, I can actually work on pressure canning a whole big vat of dog food. And when I say a big vat, I mean more like, I think we have 5 big stock pots filled. So that's going to be at least 6 months worth of dog food that I've got a can. So it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess, probably about 10 rounds in the canner. So that's a lot of time. That's a lot of energy and a lot of standing in the house and in the kitchen. And as you guys know, I don't really like being inside. I'd much rather be outside, but when it's hot like this, I can't handle it. But so what I did today actually to try to help prepare the animals for the heat and the intensity of it, especially with how humid it was, I knew it was going to be a lot harder for the animals because, they have fur. I actually have put 3 different fans in the barn. We have a bunch of Ryobi stuff. So in preparation for this, I had Tracy actually order a couple more of the small clip-on Ryobi fans. I think they're like a 4 or 5 inch little fan. But it's perfect because I can set different fans in different spots of the barn. So that way, where each of the goats like to usually lay, I actually have a fan blowing right in that general vicinity. So then that way, they can get cooled off, they can get blowed off, and just be more comfortable. And then we had a junky canopy from doing the farmers markets that it actually partially broke, but we ended up keeping it and holding onto it because of the fact that it would come in handy for things like this. So I set that up right next to our billy goat, our buck. His name's Wilbur, and his companion Ferdinand, which is also his son. I set that up right next to their paddock area because where they're at, it actually is full sun, and both of them are black, so it's way too hot for them. And that makes it so that way there's some shade that is casted onto their pasture area, so that way they're not in the full sun. And before it started raining, I actually did have one of those little clip-on fans hooked to the leg of the canopy so that way it was blowing into their pasture. So I got a really cute picture. I'm probably going to put it up on our Facebook farm page. And if you guys aren't following us there, I put a lot of pictures up there because it's very hard to upload pictures to YouTube to show you guys. But so on Facebook, we're just Storybrook Family Farm. It's the same logo and all that stuff. But so I'll post a picture up there of Ferdinand getting himself cooled off. But so the rabbits have been really hard to keep them cool. When it's humid like this, they really struggle. And because of where it's at and stuff, we're not able to put fans out there, especially since it's raining. We do have a solar generator thingy that I will probably end up tomorrow or something like that, dragging that out with an actual, a fan that's on a stand type thing to point it towards the rabbits to create more airflow. But so what we have right now is we have several different bottles of water that are Gatorade bottles. And then we have a couple, my neighbor saved some gallon jugs for me that are actually frozen water in there as well. So in each little pen that we have, and we moved everybody into the shade because there was no chance of anybody surviving if we did not get them out of the sun. So everybody's pretty much just jammed packed over towards the pine trees so that they're able to cast just enough shade so that way it stays shady right underneath of the pines that are on the property line. So we have literally all of the rabbits, all of the tractors and stuff all moved over there, except for one. She's up past the little chick area where there's dog kennels up there that we used to have the turkeys raised in. That area over there is actually a full shade area. She's a new mama and there's lots of good grass up there. So we put her up there so that way she can get all the grass that she needs to be able to nurse the babies. Whereas everybody else is in the pines, there's not as much grass there, so they're not able to like forage for their own food. So we're having to go and harvest grass for them to snack on, which isn't that big of a deal. It doesn't take that much time, but it's much better than the alternative of them being in the sun and being too hot. But so anyways, we have all the frozen water bottles out there for them, which when they get overheated really bad, they'll just sort of cuddle up with that for a couple minutes and then they walk away from it and stuff to regulate their temperature, which we've had good successes with that in the past. So hopefully nothing catastrophic will happen. The rabbits are definitely our biggest concern. And then the second biggest concern is our pregnant does, which are female goats. We have one that is, I think she's due on the 29th of this month. And then the other two, they're due early July, I think the 7th and the 9th. So they're very, very pregnant. And they are quite miserable. That's why I focused on putting so many fans out in the barn so that way it would blow on everybody. Because I had a really bad dream last night that I like came out there and like we had a whole bunch of dead animals. Everybody overheated and died. So I've been in a panic. So in between rounds of canning, I've been pretty much just like running out, checking, making sure everybody's topped off on water, has tons of water, everybody's good and stuff. I'm not worried about the garden because I was able to get everything accomplished that I needed to with mulching it and getting it ready for the heat wave. But the animals are definitely a huge concern. I'm really not sure how people in the South do this because, like, right now the current temperature, well, now that it started storming, it's obviously going to change. But before I started filming this, it was currently 92 degrees out and the real feel was 99. It was miserable outside. Like, just running around checking right before it stormed to make sure everybody was good for a little while and stuff. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, this is so intense. Like, I can't hardly handle this. Really glad we're not doing farmers markets because I'd have to be staying outside this week and that, and there's no way. But yeah, I don't know how people in the South do this. I don't know why anybody would want to live in the South. Like, if Tracy and I ever left Ohio, we would probably go to like Michigan, Minnesota, New York, somewhere cold. Basically, that's what we would change for. Is to have a much cooler climate because it's much easier to add layers than it is to take your skin off because you're melting. It's just easier. But so I think my canner's probably about ready for me to get the next batch in. So wish me luck on that. Hopefully I can get all of this stuff canned up because we don't have fridge space right now for it because that's a lot of dog food. So we end up having to put some of the stock pots of dog food into coolers with ice. So this is a really a time-sensitive type of thing to be doing this when it's this is stinking hot outside. So far everything's so good though. It'll all get done eventually, even if I don't sleep, but that'll be okay. So anyways, if you guys are enjoying my content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.